lacking to go forward will do is it will cause you to start murmuring and complaining. As soon as they stopped going forward, the next thing they started doing is complaining. I wonder, are there any complainers in the house today? When you read verse 11 and 12, notice verse 11, how they blamed all of their problems on Pastor Moses. Everything that was wrong, it was Pastor Moses' fault. They were a church that did not want to assume any of the responsibility for how messed up the stuff was. And since they blame the pastor, I want to say this morning that when stuff go crazy in the church, a lot of times it's not leadership, it's fellowship. Evidently, folks can't be in charge anywhere else, so they try to be in charge at church. You go on your job and the boss tells you what to do. You go home and your wife tells you what to do. You won't come to church and then be the big baller and the shot caller. Churches will always struggle with going forward if a church is operating with multiple heads. Anything that got two heads, it belongs in a circus. It's a freak show. Lord have mercy. Murmurers and complainers. I don't like murmurers and complainers. I love people to share their heart, to share their concern, to express, whatever sorts of concern. But it's one thing to express concern, because if you're expressing concern, that means that you're willing to be a part of whatever it takes to make it better. But then there's another group, they don't want to help to fix it, they just want to talk about it. My God. They were complaining because they could not figure out what in the world God was doing. And some of us wrestle because you want God to give you the whole plan before you do anything. And since God didn't give you the plan, then you've created your own plan in your own head of how you think it should work. And when it does not go the way that you've planned, and you begin to fall to pieces because it did not go the way you planned, like you really know what's best for your life. If you knew what was best for your life, you wouldn't be as messed up as you are right now. Oh, I'm talking to somebody in here. I'm talking to somebody in here. You don't look like you messed up, but you are jacked up. Sure you are. You just got a cover on. Amen. You looking all holy. You looking all sanctified. You look like you blood washed and born again, but you mean as hell. Lord, help us in here. You evil as you want to be, and you stubborn as you want to be. Lord, have mercy. And so I thank God that even though I'm messed up, I serve a God who can still keep me. I serve a God who can still love me. I serve a God who can still provide for me. Stop all that complaining. And hearing folks talk about what the church ought to do. I've been meeting with people, they've been telling me the church ought to do this and the church ought to do that. And folks telling me how the church don't do this and the church don't do that. I want to know, well, what do you do? Oh, I don't have time. I'm so busy. Murmurers and complainers don't come to Bible study. Woo-wee. Test 1, 2. Y'all hear this thing is working? Let me leave y'all alone, man. The lack of going forward can sometimes represent a backsliding spirit. Moses said, they said to Moses, Moses, you got us all messed up. Why don't you just let us go back to bondage? It would be better, they said, if we go back to Egypt. Because at least I know the madness of Egypt. I left what I knew was going to kill me to come to a place where I didn't know from which way death was coming. Lord have mercy. They had been out of Egypt for only 2 or 3 days, and now they're trying to go back. What are you trying to go back to? It's amazing how when the Lord brings us out of something, people around us try to pull us back in it. Come on here. Amen. It wasn't until you stopped drinking that people wanted to take you out and buy all your drinks. It wasn't until you had given up on marijuana that you could be a part of the marijuana fellowship and not have 5 on it. Y'all don't like my realness in here today. While you are single, you can't find anybody who wants to commit to you. And then as soon as you find somebody who's trying to do halfway right, that's when somebody always come up trying to be your side boo thing. What's drawing you backwards? Lord, help us in here. I can't imagine